Here we go, everybody. Lawmakers right now are racing against time to get the last few bills over the finish line. The House is still in session, the Senate also in session, and so are we. And we have team coverage for you tonight. ABC4's Jordan Tracy following the latest developments on the floor. But first, let's go to ABC4's chief political correspondent, Lindsay Aerts, who's been covering the session from day one. Lindsay, we're going to send it over to you. You can fill us in on what's happening right now.
Hi, Brian. Well, you can see behind me kind of the hustle and bustle of where we are right outside the Senate chambers. This is kind of the hallway where it happens, outside the room where it happens, where lobbyists are kind of petitioning lawmakers, trying to get those last minute changes made, making sure their bills pass this chamber. Now, come with me. I want to show you what we all monitor out here. This is the voting board right now. So if I can have you take a look on it, see all those green bills right there? Those are all the bills still to vote on, at least tonight. Again, we have about 2 hours left. You can see right now up here in this blue corner, first House Bill 465, public safety amendments. That's what's being voted on right now. And all of these green bills are bills that have already passed the House that are now coming to the Senate. You can see that HB means House bill, and they've started over in the House and need to come over to the Senate. So you can see how much work there still is to do. Now, one of the big bills we're watching for, still left to pass, is what's called the Bill of Bills. That is the big list of all the state agencies and programs that get funded. I also want to run you through some big changes Utahns are going to see as far as tax cuts and big changes to elections. Now, every Utahn who has a job, you'll see a reduction in their income tax rate. That rate pretty minimal, the rate cut at least. It's anticipated to save the average family about $45 a year. But seniors making less than $90,000 a year will not have to pay income tax. Currently, that threshold is for those making $75,000 a year or less. And now families with children under 5 also can get an income tax credit. Senate leaders like to tout the fact that they did tax cuts for every stage of life. And then businesses, if they want to open a child care center, can get some tax breaks too, according to some legislation that's passed here. Now, on to elections. A big proposal will require the last 4 digits of your state identification to be written on your ballot. Again, we've pretty much confirmed that the governor is going to sign this eventually once it gets to him. The deadline will also change for when your ballot is due. Ballots will have to be into the clerk's office by 8 p.m. on Election Day. That's another big change voters are going to see after this legislative session. And then finally, over the next 4 years, everyone has to opt in to receive a ballot by mail that starts in 2029. You'll be able to do that when you update your driver's license or when you register to vote online. Now, I also sat down earlier with Governor Spencer Cox, who applauded some of these changes, but he says there could be some vetoes coming. What will you veto?
Yeah, I'm going to veto so many things.
You heard it. It's on the record.
But I'm not going to tell you what yet. No.
Is that for real?
No, it's not for real. Okay. We'll sit down and look. I do think there will be some vetoes this year, but I'm not sure exactly what. We've got some bills that we're looking at, and we'll go through the process we always go through.
Governor Cox now staying on the Hill throughout the night. Just moments ago, he took some time also to field some questions from the press. He didn't speak to any new vetoes, but he did tell us a bit about managing relationships between the House and the Senate, a hot topic after they seem to butt heads on some big bills.
When your in-laws come for Christmas, it's like really exciting. And if they stay for 45 days, sometimes your nerves get a little frayed. And certainly we all feel that way right now. The House is mad at the Senate's mad at the House, the Senate's mad at the auditor's mad at the senator. We're mad at everybody. No, we're not mad at everybody. We love everybody. But that's the challenge. The most challenging thing is the session. It will always be challenging.
And we've definitely sensed some of that tension here at the state capitol this year. Now, of course, some controversial bills still making their way, passing just in these latest hours. Again, this session goes all the way until midnight tonight. Our team coverage continues. I want to send it over to Jordan Tracy, who is covering some of those major bills that have made it through. Hi, Jordan.
Hey, Lindsay. Yeah, one that actually just passed. It wasn't controversial. It got a lot of support, unanimous support. That just passed the Senate was a bill to help surviving spouses of first responders killed in the line of duty. It adds vision and dental benefits. Also gets rid of that 12-month waiting period before they get access to that trust fund to help them. That just passed the Senate and will head to the governor's desk. But a lot of bills have been going through as this has been kind of the marathon at the end of the sprint. Here are some of those bills that moved through today. The governor could now have the power to pick the next Supreme Court Chief Justice when there's a vacancy, with Senate confirmation if he signs this bill. SB 296 passed with a 40-29 vote.
Other states do this, including our own federal government. Now, at some point in this discussion, there was maybe a little concern from the courts. I will let this body know that I have been informed that the courts are neutral on this bill.
A controversial bill that removes Planned Parenthood from being able to participate in sex education in schools passed with an amendment. Planned Parenthood has said that the lessons they teach in schools are all state approved and provide important lessons to students that they may not get anywhere else. But the bill now heads to the governor to sign.
I think this bill is an important bill. I think we need to make sure that what we're approaching and teaching in schools is correct. And I think with the amendment, we allow those providers who really have the expertise to do the biological part of the instruction.
I don't understand why we distrust our schools so much, and we distrust our parents to make decisions that they feel are good for their kids.
And a bill to require firearm safety to be taught in schools heads to the governor's desk. Parents are able to opt out, but it can be taught through live instruction, hunter safety courses, health education curriculum, or through physical education. And again, on that last bill, that's for K through 12 schools. Senator Winterton speaking on the Senate floor about this, talking about why the bill is necessary, saying even if a family doesn't own guns, that education could help prevent tragedy and accidental discharges with a firearm if that were to happen. So a lot of important stuff going through. Another bill for education-wise, banning or not allowing schools to render mental health services without parental consent. That's another one that heads to the governor's desk, and more will be making their way through as we get closer to midnight. Back to you.
Yeah, Jordan, thank you. Great coverage over there. There has been a lot of those bills that we've been tracking throughout the session, so appreciate those updates. Now, we also saw a major political shakeup here on Utah's Capitol Hill earlier today. West Valley State Senator Daniel Thatcher has left the Republican Party. Now, Senator Thatcher is affiliating with the Forward Party, a national centrist political movement founded by Democratic presidential hopeful and tech businessman Andrew Yang. Now, its Utah chapter ran its first candidate just last year. Now, Thatcher is kind of notorious around here for having frequent spats with his fellow Republicans, and now he says he feels like they've lost touch with the voters.
Amendment D was one of the biggest things I've seen that directly attacked the rights of the public. But we've also gone after education funding. We've gone after labor. We've gone away from the people.
Now, the Forward Party leadership says they're thrilled to have Thatcher along and that he aligns with their values. The Utah GOP telling us him changing affiliation is a reflection of Thatcher's changing beliefs. Now, with this move, Thatcher becomes only the third party member, the only third party member of the state legislature. He's next up for re-election in 2026. It's unclear which party he may caucus with up here on Utah's Capitol Hill. Now, I want to remind you we'll have continuing coverage online as we sign off here on your screen. That's at abc4.com. Also coming up this Sunday, my full sit down with Governor Spencer Cox, a full 10 minutes on what he may veto, all of the things that he's looking at, whether it was a win for him this session. So 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. this Sunday on ABC4 Inside Utah Politics. And I'd point you to abc4.com where we're continuing to live blog the next 2 hours of the legislative session. This thing will go probably right up until midnight, so we'll be following it online.